With the expansion of boons and Scourge Hook, Scourge Hooks, have the developers noticed any significant changes to the gameplay statistics that they are comfortable disclosing?
Oh, interesting question. Well, I don't have this data on hand, so I can talk about details. What I can say is that we do have a whole data research team that is digging into these numbers, and of course, adding important gameplay changes like this will change what's used and how people play a little bit. And strategies that are used while these perks are in, and of course, because they're new, we are looking into them right now, and in time I'm sure there's going to be changes and other perks related to that's going to change a little bit how we play with them.
Was the decision to create a killer whose identity revolved around crows from a country that does not have crows an artistic decision, or what?
Yeah, that's interesting. Originally the crow character was more of a English or British type of character at its genesis. Going for a Chile background was a nice twist to make it really interesting. And so it's not because crows are not in the country that you can't love the bird. Of course, and the crows comes from the entities world.
So the HAL map may be gone, but is there a potential for like a PAL Mick compound or other type of inspired HAL map to come back into rotation at any time soon?
Well, yeah, there's definitely a way to reuse knowledge based on that type of map. We've received positive feedback from the community that this map was liked, and so of course our team has that in mind. And yes, it could be reused in many different ways.
Are the layouts for the license maps set like permanently in store, or are they open for tweaking? Specifically, the RPD map, while the map is visually stunning, the nature of the doors, stairs, and hallways can mean that Killer series report literally not being able to get to player hooks sometimes. Is that map or similar maps like that open to, say, some additional doorways that would allow for more functional travel without affecting the core layout?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, for us, it's really important to put gameplay first. Before realism or before so metrics are more important than a specific license specific layout. And so right now in the RPD map, of course, we already took some liberties with the map. There's some holes in the walls that should not be there, that elements that are not there from the original game. And so of course, when there's a friction point in a map, the team will review them in due time and put out an update.
So this one's specifically about the Trapper. You recently updated the Trapper to have additional bags. Was that decision after this, because he watched my interview, he was like, after Matthew had said that the killer was, quote, in a good place. When you make these decisions, is it something you listen to the community for? Is it something you feel? Is it something that you can't talk about but is being implemented, or is it something just kind of last minute you fix because you realize it makes sense?
Well, it's usually on the longer term. How game production work, especially with such a large team, we plan things so long in advance. I live in the far future. I'm building content for 1 year and a half to a year in the future. It's not all the team that is in that space, of course. There's always some things that we can fix or change like last moment, or that are really hot and need to be fixed now. But usually live design balance changes like that were planned a long time ago.
So referencing the Hunger Balance patch, what was it like to work with such a widespread set of changes all at once, and how it breathed new life into a lot of killers and showed the creativeness of the design team and their ability to design completely new ways to play killers? They specifically call it the plague item that makes your puke only affect stuff but makes players infect twice as fast.
You know what? Usually in design space, there's way more content that what actually gonna end up in the player's hand. Usually in production, what is gonna prevent us to do even more changes is definitely not the creativity of the designers, but it's gonna be production cost time, QA, making sure that it all fits with all the other objectives that we have. So just on that specific patch, I know that the team is always having a lot of fun going back into killers and reviewing the add-ons and being creative with it. You know, our designers play the game. They drill down on a specific character and they play only that character to make sure that they understand the issues and what's going on, and if the you know, the community feedback, what it is and what do they mean exactly. So it's always a lot of fun.
The community on Dead by Daylight is very passionate, I'll say. What's the biggest misconception from your standpoint, looking at the community, when something is broken or off balance or buggy or glitchy? Like, what is the community not like? What's the biggest misconception on your side from the actual development?
Well, definitely the one that hurts the most is the dev don't care. Like, this cannot be, you know, it's so false. Of course we care. It's our product. It's our baby. We want to make sure that everybody is having fun and that the experience is great. I mean, of course we're still learning, you know, as a company, as a team. We're still putting pipelines and processes in place, better tools to make sure that we can respond earlier. But you know, that's it. Sometime a problem is going to take, it's going to be way more complicated than what
People think it is.
What it seems, yeah, or what they think it is. Absolutely. Thank you.
Like, he harkers back as a follow-up question. Like, for example, the clown's gas grenade had a bug where people weren't getting slowed down. Can you give us kind of an insight on why that took so long to fix?
No, I'm sorry about specifics like that. I don't have the information.
And then the last thing is, what can we look forward to in the future of Dead by Daylight? Anything you can share with us that the fans don't know?
I can't. Of course, my hands are tied. I can't spill the beans. I can just say that there's a lot of very exciting stuff coming. You know, again, new characters, new maps, new chapter. They're going to keep coming. And new features. Absolutely.